Staying with us. In a significant political development, Governor Umoeno of Akwa Ibom State has announced his defection from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress. This move comes few weeks after Delta State Governor Sheriff Uberewori made a similar crossover to the APC, signaling a potential shift in the political landscape of Nigeria. During a press conference held in Uyo, Governor Eno emphasized that his decision to join the APC was not made from a position of weakness, but rather from a position of strength.
Each and every one of you needed to be consulted, to be informed. I needed your counsel. I needed to explain why I am moving. And at this point, that consultation culminated into my meeting with all the critical stakeholders in the PDP last night in this hall, where I took time to explain to all of you the reason why we must move. That as the children of Issachar, we must be able to interpret the times and flow with the times and not run against the tide. Having completed the rounds of my consultation as your servant that you have elected to serve you, I have therefore decided to progressively move to the All Progressive Congress.
Joining us for this conversation is Public Affairs Analyst Ziggy Ibeh. Ziggy, good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays. Unfortunately, we dragged you out of your house.
Oh, yeah, it's good. It's good. Sometimes we leave our comfort zones.
Now, let's talk about the gale of defections we've been seeing in recent times from the PDP to the APC. And Governor Umoeno is the recent defector. He said that he's flowing with the times and the tide, and he's not going to go against the tide. But what do you see as being the implication of these moves on our political landscape?
Okay, thank you. I think another thing a professor put there is that if you can't move with him, you better leave his cabinet. Imagine that. Okay, it's okay. We are not new to this. It's a game we are used to. Many years in the past, we've had a gale of defections by politicians who feel they are no longer comfortable where they are, or the vehicle that brought them into their present party, because that's my vehicle. Yes, on the way. Yes, they're interested in boarding a bus. That's the way I want to typify it. Boarding a bus, get to their bus stop. When the bus drops at the bus stop, what they do is they alight. And when they feel the job at that party is ended, they hop into another bus that takes them to another bus stop. It's okay. Nobody quarrels with that. It is their decision to do so. But one thing that is very disturbing is, are they really deciding the implications of what they are doing? Because moving from a party to another party, to me, isn't about the people. It is a personal interest. We've seen that over the time. If we are moving from your present party to another party, you should allow others to make their own decision just like you made. And asking them who weren't comfortable with them, your present decision should leave the cabinet, to me is obnoxious. Okay, and you see, if you are giving reasons why you are leaving your party because of the party wranglings and disquiet, the party you are going to, how comfortable will you be there? Because so many of these defectors have said that because their party is having trouble. If your house is disturbed, if you have problem in your household, do you leave the house? Or if you're having headache, do you cut off the head?
But
you stay put and rectify what the problem is.
When people refuse, when they have issues, that is why you hear irreconcilable differences.
But PDP, as we speak, has not had such a situation. Yes, their situation is not irreconcilable. So I want to think.
To reconcile?
Well, it is just the defector that is thinking that that situation is irreconcilable. And what makes you feel that where you are going will not have same problem as you are witnessing here? So it is neither here nor there, though. But to me, moving from one party, giving excuses here and there, it is neither here nor there too. Because if Eno had left, we are no longer talking about he being there. But now he left PDP. Okay, we are not new to it anyway. He left PDP, joining APC, giving reasons that his party, his former party, is having issues. Can't you sit back and fix it? Or you think where you are going to... We may
not know what he tried to do.
What did he try to do? We've never heard that. I will not read it on paper or will not heard what
he may not make the headlines.
Okay, but then if he is moving from that party to another party, when he gets there, that means he should be still ready to move away from APC.
Let's analyze.
Because it's a continuous journey now.
Let's
and not really being there as an ideological person who will bring on the table solutions to wranglings in the party.
Let's look at the statement of the governor. He said, interpreting the times, running with it, and not running against the tide. Now, let's break it down into some of the things you just raised a little bit. I know that before you can leave a political party into another one, there has to be some level of wahala in your own. That is what the Constitution says before you go into something else. PDP in Akwa Ibom State, we're not yet aware if there is that level of wrangling.
That's right.
Within the PDP
That's
in
right.
Akwa Ibom.
Yes.
Yes,
but at the national level,
yeah, you know, a few issues are still going on, which, like you said, you know, resolutions are taking place to handle all of that. But in his home, where he's supposedly the head politically,
the party leader,
exactly,
for that matter,
there's no issue in that area. Now, if he's running down against the tide, or rather,
which tide now?
That's the point I'm trying to say.
Now?
And so what exactly is a real debacle here?
If we want to throw the part of the governor, the tide is talking about, I don't know. Okay, because the tide here might be interpreted to mean that other governors are moving and he did not move. That could be a tide or a kind of walk that so many other people had taken. Is he joining them as he couldn't fix his own part of the wahala? So if you look at the reasons these people give, it is nonplussed. It doesn't hold water to me. Okay, because I've given an instance of your home. If your home is having issues, do you abandon your home to create a new home? The answer is no. If you're having a headache, do you cut off your head in order to avert the pain? The answer is no. But you see, we are used to all this because most of their movements is all about gaining what they intend to gain in the future. The only reason I've heard one of them give is that, you know, most of these people that are making this movement are trying to seek the possibility of their second term. Okay? And in seeking or in securing their second term, having that security, they are looking at the leadership at the center, not compromising certain standard or certain, what do I call it, certain a situation where their forms or their situation are not secured. For instance, during collection of their forms, intent forms and all that, secretaries sign, chairman signs. You know, when the election is concluded, there might be infractions that could make a favor to the other person.
But for Governor Moeno now, what would be the political risk for him if he remained in the PDP?
The fear is what you just said. The fear is he might risk not being the second, not being the governor in the second term.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, if that is the issue, you know, the speed at which they are defecting from PDP, from other parties to APC, the speed is, yes, we've been seeing defections, but not at this rate. You know, the speed is just too much. Is there something that they are telling these governors that is making them change their mind so much? I understand that the fact that they would like to secure their second term in office and so
Secure
on.
their
I am
futures.
also worried about APC that is receiving so many people. Do they stand the risk of implosion?
Fashola once said that the party's door is open, just like you are allowed to enter the church, but we won't be allowed to hold the key. to the vote on it. So that could be the reason. But you see, the issue remains that no party will reject entrance. No party. The Constitution has never said so. If your reasons are attainable, like they've all come to tell us. But the issue that, you know, the larger a house, the more troubles that comes to that house. If APC is not taking care of all this, having enough space to tackle the troubles that will be experienced, because when we're having more people into the party, you should expect more problems. And to accommodate the trouble, the people, because the people that are coming will still come with their wala from their former party. Don't forget, they are not defecting alone.
Yes, they
defect with their structure, they defect with their members, they defect with their... It's a gale of movement. It's an exodus.
They are not just regular people that are moving. We are talking of men of timber, caliber, caterpillar,
yes, and the
bulldozer.
trouble with some of these parties' hierarchy or the leaders is that when they move, they become the leader of that party in the state. So what happens to the former leaders of that party that were in the opposition? For instance, I gave you Delta State. Delta State, original was a PDP state. And don't forget, Omagege was in the opposition in that party, making all he could do to make sure that party exists in Delta State. So when Oborowere eventually joined the party, he took over that reign of leadership from Omagege. And what happens? That's where you are going to have another more internal wrangling. Because the people there had occupied. You are coming to displace them from their positions. And when that happens, what happens? You are creating more troubles. And that's where the Kanduje once said, reminding Oborowere that as you were coming, please make sure that the owners of the house, original owners of this house, are still there. So don't displace them. But will the leader of the party hear that? Because as he came, automatically, that position he occupies nullifies the existing structure. He comes with his own structure. And where are going to be the places of the new people who are coming in? Will the house still accommodate it? Unless they are living in silence. So the trouble is still brewing. The trouble we are running from.
Okay.
You understand? So the issue with Eno, as we speak, Eno before now had issues, a silent issue with his former boss. Okay? And the former boss has got a relief, even with his leaving. The former boss is now coming back to take over the reign of the affairs. Of no longer authoritatively, but at least this man don't give way. Make me enter.
Make us sit down.
Make us sit down. That is another trouble on his own. Yes, you are still the party leader in that environment. But what tells you that you are occupying largely? So it is neither here nor there. If APC is actually accepting all this, fine. It's none of our business. But the issue is that you are coming to create more troubles in the center. Because the trouble is that as you are trying to run away from the trouble you've created there, giving reasons that the party is in having issues there, where you are entering, you are going to create more troubles that you might not be likely to be able to handle. The only thing I see there is their second tenure. That is the only security they want to have.
Does that mean they were not popular? Does that mean because if you are popular, if you do the right thing for the people,
it comes
you shouldn't be looking for how to secure a second term. It should be there for you. The people should want you back.
The only reason I've noticed earlier is the central wrangling that might affect, after a friend told me we have 2 election bodies in Nigeria, the normal INEC and they cut. So when they scale the first hurdle, which is INEC, then they will face the judiciary. And in the judiciary will always go to know who signs your form. And if the present secretary of the PDP was having trouble when your form was signed, that means your election might be nullified.
Interesting.
So you're speaking to the secretariatship issue happening in the PDP
both secretarial
right
issues, both leadership issues, and because the chairman and the secretary will sign your form. But then when you go to court, and the court will eventually touchlight all those areas where
I like the word touchlight. But quickly,
yes,
but quickly, like a lot of Nigerians are bothered about we having a vibrant opposition as we speak with this gale of defection. What does this defection mean for the PDP that is supposed to position itself or should have occupied a position of that vibrant opposition we need in our kind of democracy?
Certainly, the campees are not thinking about those areas you are thinking. It is about personal interest. Of course, before now, I don't think we've had a viable opposition in the country anymore. Okay? Really? Yeah, because at a point, we didn't know that PDP was existing. At a point in the past, you know, and they are no longer interested in putting the ruling party on the hot chair or hot seat, because opposition is about that constructive criticisms. Yeah. A situation where you want to correct certain anomalies. None speaks.
Articles speak about.
None speaks. Even in the
even Labour Party.
Yeah. Peter does a lot.
Speak.
Peter does a lot.
Yeah.
But the real opposition party, which is second largest to the ruling All Progressive, is now busy joining the other parties. So if I'm not saying that as being diminished, but it is very likely that party certainly will be brought down in its position as trying to opposing certain views in the present administration. Okay, but they are not interested in shutting down those areas because they are interested in their second tenure. And what that means is that if I didn't go now, in fact, before now, they would not be even speaking against the ruling All Progressive. That means the idea had earlier been conceived, but kept with them, waiting until at an appropriate time, then they will exhibit it. Now, it's not only Eno and Oburu that have done that. We have other ones that we are gearing up to doing that. And I tell you, before the year, before the year runs out, I think we are going to have more. If care is not if there is not giving, the whole PDP will be divested into. Is that APC. Good for our democracy? It is not. Right. It is not. One party system in any country is not the right thing.
Mr. Ibeh, let's speak about this issue of when Governor Moeno said any of his appointees who does not go with him should resign. The president and the government at the center is APC. One of the prominent figures in that cabinet is Wike, who is a PDP. If the leader, the national leader of the APC, can have an opposition member strongly as a part of his cabinet, why then would another governor who is just defecting into that party make such a statement to say, if you don't follow me, you can't be an appointee in my cabinet? What's going on here?
Well, maybe we might want to squarely put certain issues where they belong. PDP's trouble started when Wike and Atiku started their fight. Yes, nobody can disagree with that because PDP is, I wouldn't say here that PDP was such a wonderful party, but no house without a trouble. Okay? There might be pockets of issues, skirmishes of issues and all that, but it got escalated when Wike and Atiku threw their rings, threw their hands into the rings, and the fight continues. Till then, it has not been abated. Edno has his right to say anything, and one of them had shown that he's a man enough. Okay, because you can't force me to drink water I wouldn't want to take. And that's exactly what he did. Other people followed. And saying that, I wouldn't want to give name to it, but it is totally wrong. Maybe he didn't see the bigger picture, because you don't hold my right. If I'm in your ESCO,
rights to associate.
If I'm in your ESCO, I have the right to live there.
Is it about political alignment or somebody who will be able to help me achieve the goals and visions
and plans I have for the state? Do they think about you? Do they think about you? I've said it is a personal agenda.
Yeah.
So if you are working with them, they hired you and they have the right to fire you. And that's the situation here. So if you're not saying that authoritatively, he knew that he got you employed. So your employee is only rolling with his agreement. And when you couldn't agree with him at a point in time, then he has the right to fire you. That's what it means.
Okay. When then do we go back to patriotic policy?
Hang on. Let us look at this thing from another point of view. We are slowly, if we are not there yet, we are slowly moving to a one-party state.
Yeah.
We are having,
gradually.
Yes. And then we have APC really enlarging. I see issues coming.
I've said that earlier.
Yes, but I can't put my finger on what issue might
and
arise
from whom it will come.
And from whom it
and
will.
who unto the person?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Is there a way APC can foresee these things and then plan towards settling them even before the red ugly heads?
Okay, APC has just like any other organization has a constitution.
Yeah.
And that constitution guides every other person that comes in. Okay? And as it is, nobody is more than the party itself. So when you come in, you align with the party's agreement, align with the party's constitution and its workings. At a point in our checkered history, I think we've had a PDP having 26 governors and a few governors for the other parties. Yeah. Today, we have 23 governors for APC and 10 for PDP. That is staggering number.
And some of those 10 are moving.
Yes, some of them, and they are ready to. It's still diminish. That number will still diminish further.
There are two we can just say, look, it's just a matter of weeks.
We've seen it. We've seen it. So, look, APC should have enough space to accommodate these people. And your question is, how prepared is the party to accommodate these people, because trouble is looming?
Well, if there was no trouble in 2013, 2014...
But the house wasn't that large, 2013.
No, it was a marriage of strange bedfellows, and they were able to survive to this point.
Yes, but
it was just that some became aggrieved.
Yes,
at
but
the end of the day.
Not the kind of deluge numbers we are having today. Because don't forget,
huge is relative.
What we were having then was just an individual moving from his party to another party. But now we're having a whole structure in a state.
It was beyond an individual. A lot of persons came together from different parties.
Yes, but if we could get the population of the party, APC numbers, the population of APC party then, and now it is tripled or quadrupled. Because we are being afraid here, because the number of people, the number of movements we are going to have before the next election will be so large.
But the president is not worried. The president is not worried. He has spoken about this matter.
The president, as the leader of the party, might not come to tell you, I am worried. That is not done. The party, we have been told, has enough room to accommodate everyone.
So take your corner.
But the accommodation we are talking about is, it might start from the states where they are coming from. Because don't forget, each time a governor moves to another party, he moves the structure of the state. But then the numbers of few persons he left there will be trouble now, because they were in opposition. They were ruling party today. Tomorrow they are now in opposition. And do you know what it is? When I know your secrets, I attack you more. I hope you know that. It's
Nigerian politics.
I know where I used to eat. But the issue remains that, look, at all this, the governors don't think very effectively. before their movement. And they've always told us that the road is becoming rough and tumbled. And they
who made the road rough? I can't answer the question. Public affairs analyst Ziggy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Right. After the break, we will discuss latest developments following the alleged bribery claims against Senator Akwa.